Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name's Brian Craig. If you're new here, you might notice from my shirt that I'm partial to the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Welcome, everyone, to my channel. Please subscribe, everyone. Like the video. We got a lot to talk about on the stream today, including the situation with China and Biden is going in a direction that is getting very dangerous, very scary, and it's unpredictable because the commander-in-chief of the United States is a senile old coot who doesn't know what is going on. By the way, I am going to take calls if you'd like to call me here live on the stream. It's the same number that I use on the radio. To call me live on the stream here, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere, no matter where you're listening, and I'll take your calls live on the stream right here on YouTube. So, you know, what's going on right now with Biden in China, it's getting very scary. Let's read this headline. China says it will shoot Pelosi's plane down if she travels to Taiwan under U.S. fighter escort. Now the trip, and they say this in the headline, the trip to Taiwan by Pelosi has not been like officially announced or confirmed. But whether or not she was going to travel with fighter escort, I don't know. Probably not. I mean, probably the plan was not to go with fighter escort because there's not a war situation going on and it's a peaceful region. But at this point, does she need to go with fighter escort? Right? You know, this is the second time in 2 days, this story came out late yesterday. This is the second time in 2 days that China has threatened violence against the United States if we do what they don't want us to do. And, you know, what Ukraine and Afghanistan showed us is that the United States isn't really up to doing anything with these old-timers that don't know what the heck is going on running the country. And, you know, yesterday I was talking about what is the purpose of Pelosi's visit? What's the purpose? And I got a call from a listener, John in Wellington, who had a very interesting theory. He says, you know, maybe the Biden regime have decided to hand Taiwan over to China, and Nancy Pelosi is going over there to prepare the Taiwanese government for the transition. And explain to them, you know, well, Hong Kong did it. Why not you? Much different situation. And there most definitely could be the possibility of doing that since the entire Democrat Party and some of the Republican establishment, like Mitch McConnell, are basically employees of China, right? I mean, you know, Biden is an employee of China. And if you look at the spy operations that have taken place, you know, Fang and Feinstein and all this stuff, they've been members of Congress out of California, and Pelosi's from California. So is Kamala. You know, the Chinese Communist Party spy ring that is active in this country seems very, very active in California. So this would not surprise me at all. So anyway, let's go through this a little bit. China says it will shoot Pelosi's plane down if she travels to Taiwan under U.S. fighter escort. Speaker refuses to confirm the trip as Beijing warns it would cross a red line and aircraft carrier holds drills in the South China Sea. See, they moved a aircraft carrier battle group to the South China Sea. If U.S. fighter jets escort Pelosi's plane into Taiwan, it is invasion, says Hu Zijin, a commentator with the Chinese state-affiliated Global Times. The PLA, I guess that's the People's Liberation Army, has the right to forcibly dispel Pelosi's plane and the U.S. fighter jets, including firing warning shots and making tactical movements of obstruction. If ineffective, then shoot them down, who said. Pelosi hasn't commented on reports that she will travel to Taiwan, only saying that she does not comment on her foreign travel plans for security reasons. The threat is a dramatic escalation in rhetoric as China grows increasingly agitated at the U.S. posture with Taiwan. Another theory that I have in my mind, and I haven't heard anyone else speculate on this, just me, but one of my theories is that Pelosi and the Biden regime want a military conflict with China. And this is what I was pointing people to yesterday on the program. If you go through American history, an American president, a president of the United States, has never lost an election, a re-election, right? You got a sitting president. A sitting president has never lost re-election in time of war throughout American history. Because when there's a war going on, people, that's how Roosevelt kept getting elected. That's why G.W. Bush won his re-election in 2004 against John Kerry. And there's examples of this. And they're very well aware of this. Here we are on the verge of a red tsunami in November, a blue flush in November, and perhaps they think that a conflict with China, a military conflict, would help them a little bit in the midterms, but certainly help them in 2024. And 2024 has pretty much completely been written off. So it looks to me that there's a lot going on in these realms on that, and that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, Old Coot War. Yeah, remember that? Have anyone read the book Old Man's War? It's very good. It's a science fiction book. Not for everyone, but it's a very good book. I've read that book like twice. Oh, man. Yeah, there's nothing that's going to save the Democrats in 2024, but things are getting very scary with China. This is not fun and games. And, in a military conflict with China, I'm not so sure we have the ability to win it, because all of our manufacturing, well, so much of it, the majority of our manufacturing, our products, even our prescription medications, our dog food, everything. So much of the items we use each and every day come from China. And, in the Civil War, one of the many reasons that the South lost, there was the American Navy, the United States Navy, not the Confederate Americans, but the United States Navy had a blockade around the South. Macho Dub, new member to the channel, welcome. By the way, I made a video just for members, and only members will ever see the video, last night on the channel. So if you go there, in the thumbnail, it's a great photograph of President Trump with Kari Lake. It was a members-only video. Maybe I should get a members-only jacket. I wanted one. I was telling Kathy the other day, I never had a members-only jacket. Anyway, back to this. What's going on here, right now, is very dangerous territory, because look at the supply chain crisis going on right now. Okay, if we get into a tense conflict with China, they could slow down the production or shut it off completely of vital goods and services that would not just economically wreck the United States, but make life pretty difficult because we get so much of our products from there. And that's not even with the military. I'm just talking about just from the supply side of things, like the United States Navy in the Civil War had a blockade around the South. They couldn't get goods and services in. They had a big problem. Right? If you go back to Gone with the Wind, remember Rhett Butler was a blockade runner. China could, in effect, have a blockade against the United States on a dime with no effort by shutting down factories over there or just stopping ships from entering and leaving China with exports. So that, in effect, is a blockade. And, I had parachute pants. I did not. Remember when you wore the parachute pants, they go, shh, 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 they made noise when you walked. But no, we're in a very, very dangerous state right now. And, since we have a president who is an employee of China, whatever China wants, he's going to do. So maybe China wants a conflict. People have said China, they say that their goal is to be the dominant nation on earth, and they have the ability to do this. The Cold War with the Soviet Union, we didn't have our imports coming from Russia. It's a much different thing right now. Oh man, I'm a little behind on my coffee today, guys. I slept in a little bit, but hey, what are you gonna do? I just thought I'd show. I'm not going to get too much into this look at this. The thing online. Fact checkers are everywhere. Fact checkers cover for Democrat Party's history with the Ku Klux Klan. And I'm not going to go through the whole story, but the Ku Klux Klan was the original, the very first Democrat Party community activist organization. That's a fact. Okay. Every black man lynched in America was lynched by a Democrat. And every black man lynched in America was a Republican. And that's the way of it. And this whole thing of fact checkers, anytime someone tells you they're a fact checker and they have the truth and all that, you always got to be wary of them. It's like Liz Cheney, she's always talking about the protection that she's providing of the Constitution. When people wrap themselves around truth and fact-checking, they're liars, okay? You can't trust them. And I, remember when Hillary was debating Trump? Get the fact-checkers out there. Get the fact-checkers. Remember that? Fact-checkers, get to work. Remember all of that? Never trust a fact-checker. I'll tell you that. But they're full steam ahead. Now, I wanted to share something with you. Oh, Klingman AZ, another new member. Welcome as a member to the channel. And check out all the exclusive member content. I leave it up there so you can scroll through and scroll down. There's lots of content that is only available to members. And you can go and check that out there. And, oh, man. And I'm going to make a vlog today on something. I don't want to tell you guys what it's about yet. But when I'm done with it, it'll be available to members first before I make it available to everyone else. Trump gave an interview to Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, and listen to this. This is our president, Donald Trump.
How do you not run? I know you've been teasing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to make a decision at some point. How, knowing what you know and seeing what you see of Joe Biden, how do you not run in 2020?
Very hard for me not to run, to be honest. And also the polls indicate that from the Republican standpoint, it would be easy. And I think I was up 11 points against Biden the other day. I don't think he's going to run. And I don't know why 11. How can you only be up? If you guys ran, you'd be up more than 11. So I don't even understand. You're up 11 points. I don't understand how that could be possible. For instance, they show him at 35, or they show him at 39, or they show him at 41. And I say, 41's a lot. Who's the 41%? Where are these people? Where do they live?
Yeah, where are they? Where are they?
Say, oh, he's really...
Yeah, who are these 41%? By the way, Sarah, $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. Everyone, please thank Sarah for her $50 super chat. Thank you so much.
Really getting killed. He's at 41. Now, I'm at a great number now. I have the best poll numbers now I've ever had. It's amazing. Even at the Charlie Kirk event the other day, Turning Point, I had 79 to 19 to 1 and 0, and most of them had 0. But 79, that's a lot.
Mr. President,
ballots.
There are some things we just have to ask you, Mr. President.
Here we go.
If you're going to announce, when are you going to announce? Can you tell us that?
Well, if I'm going to announce, I'll have to make a decision. Is it going to be, 2 words? Is it before or after? And there are reasons for both. I mean, there's some very good things about early. There are some very good things about later. The way I look at it is if I announce early and we do well, I'll get credit for having done well as much as you'll get, because the press won't give you credit anyway. If I do poorly, I'll get absolutely, it'll be horrible. But if I announce later and we do well, I won't get any credit. In fact, if I announce later and we don't do well, whether it's before or after, they'll blame me. In other words, if we do badly, they'll blame me no matter what, even if I had nothing to do with it. So I don't know. I will make a decision. The one thing I can say, we'll see how it all works. I'll make a decision fairly soon. I must tell you, and I think I can say this, in my mind, I've already made the decision.
Wow. In my mind, I've already made the decision, and I think we know what that means. He's running, right? That means there's no question about that. In my mind, I've already made the decision. Would he be putting us through all of this if he was not running? No, he wouldn't. That's great. Oh man, I just can't wait. I can't wait. But you notice how he's got the whole thing plotted out, for his dramatic official announcement. I love it. Oh man. Anyone have any big plans for the weekend, by the way? I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. Oh yeah, Jean-Pierre. By the way, did you guys know that she is the first African-American female immigrant lesbian White House press secretary? Oh, my goodness. Big deal. This thing about Jean-Pierre, she's just incompetent, right? She'd be incompetent no matter what. But a textbook example of someone who's gotten through life based on these statuses. And is it her wife or girlfriend who's the CNN woman? She's with her partner. I don't know if they're married or not, but I would imagine her partner probably at CNN had something to do with her getting elevated through the ranks of things because she's completely incompetent. But this is just like our Secretary of Defense, Austin, who is the most uncharismatic general and Secretary of Defense I have ever seen in my life. And he's gotten promoted up through the ranks through affirmative action. It's obvious. And the same thing with Jean-Pierre is a mix of affirmative action and she's sleeping with a CNN anchorette. But here she is. She's got something to say. So
and the way that we see it is we have a plan. We have a plan to fight inflation.
Oh, okay. Well, what's the plan? If they have a plan to fight inflation, do you mind telling us what the plan is and implement it? Come on. People are going broke, but anyway.
And the way that we see it is we have a plan. We have a plan to fight inflation. We are ready to help middle-class families, and Republicans are opposing that. They're opposing that.
Oh, yes. We're opposed. Republicans are opposed to lowering the price of goods and services. Yeah, exactly. Give me a break, these people.
Because of false rage. They're opposing that because they are angry about, a procedure on the House that we can't even speak to.
Okay, so that's exactly right. Yes, Republicans want prices to be high. Are you kidding me? These people on the left. I understand she has a difficult job, okay? And her job, what is so difficult about it is that she's got to defend the worst president ever in the history of, at least since color television. And that is, Joe Biden. There's no getting around that. But still, even if she was, even if Jean-Pierre was out there as the press secretary for Trump, he would never hire someone so incompetent. But even when she has a perfect president to go out there and speak for, she'd screw it up because she's incompetent. She just couldn't do it. Now, I want to take a moment to tell everyone, Mike Lindell has coffee now at mystore.com. And, my promo code Kane, a great way to support all the content I do is to go to mypillow.com and mystore.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and it's a great way to support everything I do. The radio show, the podcast, the YouTube channel, my vlog, everything I do. You go to mypillow.com or you go to mystore.com. Take advantage of all the specials using the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And with my promo code Kane, Kane at checkout at mystore.com, 25% off the My Coffee from Mike Lindell, okay? And, by the way, you see, all the specials you see at mystore.com you can take advantage of with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, including this great print. Mike Lindell has this behind his desk, this incredible print. Jesus, the Lion, everything you see at mystore.com, take advantage of. But the new product from Mike Lindell, My Coffee, save 25% with my promo code Kane at checkout. And over on My Pillow, the BOGO extravaganza continues. But I want to tell you guys about a couple of huge specials, lowest price ever, 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which Kathy and I sleep on. This is the exact mattress topper we have. And on each corner, it has this strap. It just fits right over. And this mattress topper never slips, never slides. The cover is completely machine washable and dryable, by the way. And also, if you need a new mattress, huge savings there. The complete sleep system, which includes the MyPillow mattress, 2 MyPillows, and the MyPillow Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, 30% off with the promo code Kane. And you can see all these great specials. 50% off the MyPillow mattress right here with our promo code Kane. Comes in this great box. So whatever special you see at MyPillow.com or my store, you can take advantage of. And remember, mystore.com as well. With the promo code Kane at checkout, huge savings, Kane. All right, and I greatly appreciate it, okay? Because I hear from Mike Lindell's office weekly, and believe me, they are very grateful to the support that you give me and Steve Kane and Kathy and everything else by going there. But don't forget my store, because people have been asking me about this. With our promo code Kane, Kane, you can take advantage of everything at mystore.com as well, including the cafe. Now, this is really this is a beautiful, beautiful story. Didn't you like this picture? President Trump, this is the red wave coming in. Don't you love that picture? That is a spectacular picture. When did President Trump pose for that, I wonder? I don't know. The red wave. You gotta love it. But this is wonderful. Trump endorsed Kari Lake, who was a guest on the Brian Craig Show podcast. Kathy just last week was text messaging with Kari Lake on Kathy's cell phone and Kari Lake's cell phone. Pretty cool. Trump endorsed Kari Lake, leads establishment rhino opponent by about 20 points. Other Trump-endorsed candidates have huge leads in Arizona, and the primary is this week. So this is very, very awesome. I'm very excited about this. Oh, man. Oh, that's great, Rome. Yes. Kane at mystore.com. Yes. Yeah, Mike Lindell, when I did the interview with him, was telling me, make sure you tell people about my store. The coffee, when I interviewed him, the coffee was not available yet. That's why I didn't talk to him about it. On the interview I did with him, I aired on the radio earlier this week. But I'm going to have Kathy order me some of the coffee too. Although I don't have a coffee maker at home, but gonna have to get one. But you know, this is going to be a fascinating thing. Now these huge leads, again, these are Republican primaries, right? So, you know, that's Republican versus Republican. And I think these leads, like right now, Kari Lake's about 20 points ahead of the Rhino. I think the leads are even going to be higher when we're 4 or 5 days out from the general in November. They really are. You know, people are suffering in this country. I mean, the prices of everything have gone through the roof. We all know this. I don't have to go through a Hannity list of problems with you. This country is a wreck. And, you know, you really got to ask yourself, we're not even halfway through. What situation will this country be in at the end of Biden's term here? You know, Biden's not doing well. He's not doing well, right? You've seen a major decline in Biden in the year and a half since Inauguration Day. What's it going to be like in another 2 years? It's only going to get worse from this point forward. I mean, that speech he gave the other day when he had his eyes open and didn't blink once, it's only going to get worse. And we have no leadership. We're on the verge of war with China that I was talking about at the top of the stream. And the economic hit we're having, and what I've been talking about this week about the recession that we're in. We're officially in a recession. This is the first time we have a president who's not trying to get us out of the recession. They won't even admit that there is a recession. Their main focus is to try to get the definition of a recession changed. Like they just changed in Webster's the definition for woman, right? That's what they're doing. And if they can't even acknowledge the problem, how can they attempt to fix it? Germany in the chat. Hey, Germany. Oh, man, I tell you. Oh, man. Okay, now, I was talking the other day, this thing with The View about the Nazis. These are the Nazis at Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA was in Tampa, Florida last weekend. Tampa, Florida, Chuck, he's a Floridian in the chat. He'll tell you, Veritas. Tampa, Florida is about 45 minutes west of Orlando, Florida, where Walt Disney World is. It's on the Gulf Coast of Florida. And these fake Florida Nazis have been in Orlando in recent weeks during the conflict with DeSantis and Disney World. There were some protests out in front of Walt Disney World. And the Nazis were there. And this is one thing I always point to the Nazis. These Nazis, by the way, are all Democrats. Look at the flag. This flag is brand new. It's a brand new flag. Real Nazis do not have all brand new flags. You never see these Nazis. None of them have old flags or even flags that are slightly worn. It's because they're fake Nazis and they just bought the flags for the event. That's why. So anyway, there's some video here. They're plants. Who's paying you? Video shows Turning Point students confronting neo-Nazi protesters, which, by the way, are fake Nazis, framed by The View as conservatives. Listen, so here's the fake Nazis with their brand new flags. And the reason they wear masks is so people can't identify them and find out who they really are, which, of course, are Democrats. There she is, Whoopi Goldberg. And let me see. Okay, here's the video of the confrontation. Hold on, we got to go through a little bit of a Bobert ad here. Hold on. I can skip the ad in a second here. Okay. Let's see here. I can't enlarge it. It won't let me enlarge it, but we'll watch it. There may be some bad language here. I can't remember, so if there is, I apologize.
They're plants. Yeah, 100%.
They're plants.
And you're hiding. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. I'm the one that's fighting against you with my face wide open.
George Soros told me to come here.
If you're so
Yeah, he probably did. They're telling the truth there. And notice, not just are the Nazi flags brand new, all of the flags they have are brand spanking new.
Bro, take your mask off. Stop hiding. Take it off. Come on. Nobody gives a about this. Show us who you really are. Nobody gives a
You're so scared to see you pull out that chicken.
See, the SS flag, that's also brand new. All these flags, brand spanking new. Okay, and here's another thing, the reason I played this video. What's missing? You know what's missing here? What do Nazis have on their arms? Nazi tattoos. Where are all the Nazi tats on this guy's arm? Have you ever seen a Nazi, a neo-Nazi in this country that doesn't have white supremacist Nazi tattoos? Go look at American History X. No tats.
You're a coward. You're a coward. Take your mask off. Take your mask off.
Hey, what we're doing? What we're doing?
Show your
Okay, there you have it. So, who's making the flags? I don't know, probably Amazon. I don't know where you get Nazi flags. I don't know. Yeah, no tats. No swastika, nothing. So that's they're definitely Democrats, possibly Antifa, and evidence. I think that's just the way it is. They're gonna. This is an old tactic by the Democrats. It's the way it is, and it's just something we got to deal with. But I give you some tips on things to look out for. Oh, man. No one takes the word but the mainstream media. It's just like back in the days of Fred Phelps. You guys remember Fred Phelps? He was the anti-gay guy who would go and protest at funerals of people who died of AIDS. And I saw him once at an event, and he had like 12 people with him, and And Fred Phelps was a loser nobody, but the media made him into something. He was the media. The media loved Fred Phelps. They made him a superstar. And these fake Nazis, but that's the way it is. We're on to them. And you notice how these great MAGA conservatives right there immediately condemn the Nazis, right? Now, of course, the Coven of the View, they're telling, the Nazis were invited. Does it look like the MAGA conservatives are welcoming the Nazis? It looks like they're telling these fake Nazis, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't see any red carpet being put out for these people. Now, liberals are really people of low class. Look at this. Woman calls for campaign to normalize spitting into the drinks of Trump supporters. Oh, man, yeah, and she put it up there on TikTok. Can you imagine? Let's watch this here. Hold on, let me blow this up. Oh, that looks like Elton John sunglasses, doesn't it?
Normalize spitting in the drinks of Trump supporters. Are you at a or restaurant in which you did not expect to see a Trump supporter? Because their website and decor otherwise declared that they are LGBTQIA plus friendly. Maybe they've got a pride flag. Maybe they've got a BLM flag in their window. But you
what is this accent? Maybe they've got a BLM flag in their window. What kind of accent?
QIA plus friendly. Maybe they've got a pride flag. Maybe they've got a BLM flag in their window. But you still, for some reason, see an ungodly Trump supporter, and heaven forbid, they're also wearing Trump merchandise. Well, take an unfinished drink from a table, spit in it, bring it over to them, and tell them that you bought them one. And then pray to whatever glorious creature gets you out of bed in the morning that they'd take a sip of it and suffer for the rest of the day. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a crime, and I'm not a lawyer like Mark Levin, but that might be considered assault. Secretly spitting in someone's drink and then they drink it. And especially in this era of monkeypox and COVID and everything, it seems a little dangerous to do. Yeah, pull out the nose ring and yeah, exactly. That nose. Have any of you ever had a nose ring? That would drive me nuts. To have something in my nose like that, I would be flipping out, wouldn't you? It would. Maybe that's why she's this way. Maybe the irritation in her nose from all these rings just have some effect on her. But, that's why our sponsor, Wings Plus in Coral Springs on Sample Road, is the only place that I trust to go and eat with Trump gear on. Can't go anywhere else with Trump gear, but my goodness. And what she's saying very specifically is, a lot of restaurants have flags and things out front, like the pride flag and everything. She wants restaurants to refuse service to Trump supporters. If they have Trump gear on, they can't be served food there. Well, that's against the law. The whole civil rights movement was about not allowing public businesses to segregate against different types of people. And that would go against the Civil Rights Act. So, maybe that of course, we all support. So she wants the civil rights of Trump supporters to be violated. I wonder what her situation is. I wonder what her situation is so far as relationship status. Think she's got a man? Poor guy putting up with that. Could you imagine? Now, this is something that is very interesting, and there's not going to be a lot of media coverage on this. Look at this. Russian charged with using U.S. groups to spread Russian propaganda. And this is amazing. Russian spy is charged with stoking racial division in the United States by funding Florida-based black socialist movement that organized a petition claiming America is committing genocide against African-American people. Russian national Alexander Ionov is accused of attempting to sow unrest in the United States by inflating various political, or infiltrating, I should say. Sorry. I took my reading glasses off. By infiltrating various political groups. The main focus, 32's efforts, was the Florida-based African People's Socialist Party. Following the announcement of the charges, the group's headquarters was raided by the FBI. One of their leaders said in a press conference, we are on the side of Russia. This guy lives in Moscow. He's not in custody. And this is him. And he had a Zoom video conferencing with these people. Hashtag Black Community Control of the Police. You know, and you really got to wonder how much of Black Lives Matter, because this is a BLM-affiliated group, and this was over in the Tampa, Florida area, not my part of Florida. You got to wonder how much of the BLM movement is backed by really Russians, that there's really not much support or anything for it. But, yeah, I know. Probably the whole BLM movement is Russian-backed right now. And they're doing a pretty good job of causing racial division and everything else. I mean, look what Black Lives Matter has done in New York. New York City is a very dangerous place right now, in large part because of Black Lives Matter's actions over the past, I don't know, however many years they've been running around. Now, a Democrat has come out of retirement, and I'm shocked. They let him out of the race-baiting Democrat retirement home, Jesse Jackson. Haven't seen Jesse Jackson in the news, but he's getting involved in this Sesame Street thing. Jesse Jackson demands owner of Sesame Street theme park, which is the SeaWorld company, hires black board of directors and funnels money to African-American businesses to make amends for racist characters snubbing the black children. And, you know, I've talked about this on the radio. This is a parade, not a photo op. You anytime you go to a theme park, you can't go up and take, selfies with the characters because it would stop the parade, okay? And what I want them to do is identify the ethnicity of whoever is inside this character. This story has been floating around for 2 weeks now, and I don't want them to identify the person because they'd become a target, and that wouldn't be good. But I find it interesting that they have not identified the skin color of the person that they're accusing of discriminating against these cute little girls here inside this monster's costume. They should really be worried about Elmo back here. Remember Elmo? The guy, the voice behind Elmo was a big PETA. Remember that years ago? Keep your kids away from Elmo. But I just have a suspicion that this person in here is white or Hispanic, or not white, but either Hispanic or black, probably black, because if the person in here was white, see Nina in the background, she's barking, she's agreeing. If the person in this costume was white, I think they would have told us that already. But here's the father.
To this now, a class action lawsuit was filed against Sesame Place in Bucks County after a family from Baltimore says they were treated unfairly because of the color of their skin. It is the latest development in a controversy that began with a viral video. NBC 10's Leah Uko is live in Center City where the lawsuit was announced. Leah, what can you tell us?
Hey, Jackie, so this is multiple law firms that are involved announcing they jointly filed a class action lawsuit against Sesame Place Philadelphia's parent company, SeaWorld, and they're making multiple demands, the main one being compensation, but they're also asking that employees undergo racial sensitivity training. Let's get into what all was said. So these are the representation. These are the attorneys representing a father named Quentin Burns and his daughter, Kennedy. Murphy, Falcon, and Murphy, the trial firm, Duncan Legal Group. These are the three law firms representing the family, which is from Baltimore, Maryland. Attorneys tell us that the Burns family contacted these firms directly, and they all say, the family and the firms they hired to represent them, they say that SeaWorld, Sesame Place, Philadelphia's parent company, violated a section of the Civil Rights Act. Attorneys say that it was not followed on June 18th, which was Father's Day of this year. They say when this happened, this is what they're alleging occurred. Attorneys say employees dressed in costumes refused to interact with 5-year-old Kennedy, who is biracial. But on the same day, around the same moments, they did not refuse. In fact, they interacted with other children who were white. This is what they're alleging happened and what we will see in a video they plan to release. Listen.
So I'm hurt, devastated, me and my wife, just looking at her face, it makes me want to cry every time I see it.
We want to punish SeaWorld because they know what happened was wrong, and we're sure that we are going to find that this was indeed a pattern that they were aware of. They just didn't care.
So back to this video. These 3 law firms allege that this video...
Okay, now before I play the rest of this story, a couple things here. I think the person inside the costume is probably black because it's Philadelphia. You know, one thing you can see here in Philadelphia, it's a majority-minority city. White people are a minority in the Philadelphia area. So just based on that, chances are it's a minority person inside the costume. And this thing they're talking about, that this character was seen with some white kids earlier, and that proves that's not necessarily true. I'd like to see, was it in the parade or a photo opportunity situation? But also, maybe they took a picture with some kids, and then their supervisor said, you can't do that because it's messing up the parade. Not everything's a racial slight. Let's watch the rest of the story, and then a couple more things before we move on.
Video will prove their claims. I asked them, what exactly are we going to see in this video that proves their claims are accurate? They basically said you will see that the girl is devastated. They did not have that video ready to be released at the time of this
I guess it's being edited.
4 p.m. press conference. They say they're working on it. They will.
What is there to work? Why are they working on the video? If they have the video, it's raw video. What do they mean they're working on the video? You don't work on something that's a video like this. You just release the raw video. Why would there be any working on editing? A little suspicious.
We'll release it to NBC 10 shortly, so we're waiting to get that into our newsroom. We also reached out to Sesame Place Philadelphia in regards to this latest accusation. We are still waiting to hear back on that end as well. Now, I also asked if they've spoken with the other families who have publicly made similar accusations in the last week or two. They say that they have not, but the lawyers are asking other families with similar accusations to contact these law firms, which again have filed this.
Yeah, contact. They got like a class action going on here. Okay, a couple of things about this before I move on. This is so ridiculous. As a kid, I grew up in the 70s. I was a little kid in the 70s, teenager in the 80s. Thinking about it, I haven't thought about Sesame Street in a long time because my daughter's grown up and everything, but a lot of you out there would probably agree Sesame Street was the first place that I think we saw on television where it was like racial diversity everywhere, everyone, right? I mean, the place that has been the most diverse when it wasn't like popular to do it was Sesame Street. And Sesame Street has a history of breaking all of the barriers of every type of group. They even had, back in the 80s, they even had a HIV positive character on Sesame Street. And it's really a shame that they take something that did groundbreaking television in a time when there was not television programming. Do you guys remember you only had cartoons on Saturdays, and during the week we had the Electric Company, and Sesame Street, and that was it. And it was on PBS. There weren't these, kid shows on all the time. And on Sesame Street, there was more racial diversity than anything else on television. Anything else on television when it wasn't in vogue to do it. And now they're taking all that legacy and throwing it out the window, and it's really a shame. And that's just the way it is. I just want to mention here a couple things here before we go. The House passed an assault weapons ban. They know that this is not going to pass in the Senate, so it's not going anywhere. It's desperate move. Mr. Rogers too. I was never really a fan of Mr. Rogers. When I was a little kid, I thought Mr. Rogers was boring, to tell you the truth. Now, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood with Eddie Murphy, that was more entertaining. I was a Sesame Street guy myself. But anyway, the assault weapons ban, this is just some desperation to try to get some votes. Yeah, that's right, Nina. To get some votes in the midterms. But you know what's going to happen? They passed this assault weapons ban yesterday. Today's Saturday. All the gun stores are open. They are selling these, whatever guns they classify as assault weapons. I don't know what all of them are, but whatever guns they classify as assault weapons are flying off the shelves this Saturday, at gun stores from sea to shining sea in this country. The biggest promoters and sellers of guns, especially the ones that they really don't like, whatever they classify as assault weapons, are Democrats. If Democrats would stop going after guns, there'd be fewer of them on the street, really, through the legislation. Yeah, people are walking their dogs by the house, probably. I don't know. One of the things positive about COVID is, since everyone, during the COVID period, everyone doing all this work at home, dogs barking in the background's a normal thing. No one cares, Oh, man. And this one here, these are just a couple quick stories I want to mention, not a lot to talk about. Pence and his fake run. Let me tell you something. Mike Pence and his fake run for president is one of the biggest campaign finance scams in history. He's running this fake campaign, which is all about raising money. I want to know how much money that they're raising, but how much are they paying out to people for fake work that's not going to help them win anything, and salaries and everything for campaign workers and campaign managers and all of that. I want to know what their salaries are. And I want to know how much Mr. and Mrs. Pence are getting, and people in their family too. This is a big, big scam. Now, it's legal because they make the laws, and they make the laws so they can run their scams. But this campaign is the least credible campaign out there. I got to tell you, if I ran Nina out there for president, she is more credible as a MAGA candidate than Mike Pence, and everyone knows this. Big scam. I just want to share this last story. This one here is on Dr. Simone Gold. She was one of those America's frontline doctors, and she's in federal prison now, doing 60 days for January 6th. And I remember that first I watched that first press conference live that American frontline doctors did. And I remember I told Kathy then, I said, this woman right here, she's done. She's done. They're going to go after her. They're going to get her medical license taken away. They're going to do something. And here's the thing. When you are a licensed doctor and you have a felony conviction, you lose your medical license. Now, I don't know what the process is to get it back, if you can even get it back. But Dr. Simone, sorry, I had an itch there on the back, guys. Sorry, trying to reach it, But Dr. Simone Gold, and you know what I'm talking about. That first press conference she had was amazing. That all the doctors there. I knew right then I didn't think it would take this long. But now she's going to lose her medical license. Probably already lost it. Or there's a process to take it away from her because she's a convicted felon, even though she's doing 60 days. And, this is what I tell people all the time, and I don't know how many people really realize this. This is not the same country that it was 2 years ago. America is not as free, and there's all these political prisoners around, right? Simone Gold, political prisoner. There's a black Trump supporter just was sentenced to 63 months. That's 5 years and 3 months in federal prison over January 6th. Peter Navarro, his trial is going to be next. There's a list of them. We have political prisoners in this country, which is something that we've never experienced before, and no one calls them out as political prisoners. And there was, I'll tell you, there was, oh man, I just forgot the guy's name. Brandon, what's the guy, the walk away movement guy? Brandon Straka is his name. Brandon Straka. What they just did to Brandon Straka from the walk away movement is insane. Insane. This is what they did. So he didn't go in the building. He did not go in the Capitol building. He was right outside, and he got some house arrest thing was his sentence, right? They had a story yesterday that Brandon Straka, the founder of the Walk Away movement, got a light sentence because he named names. He became a snitch after they picked him up, and that's why he got a light sentence. You know, I don't believe that. The reason they did that, it's like out of the movies or a TV show. You ever watch a TV show? Like, I like Chicago PD. I like Chicago. You guys watch Chicago PD? Pretty good show. And they've got someone in the interrogation room and they don't talk. You've seen this in the movies. You've seen this in TV shows. And they say, I'm not going to talk. You know, I'm not going to be a snitch. And they said, well, if you don't tell us, we're going to let everybody know you are a snitch. You know how that's going to turn out for you, right? So what they've done is the feds have leaked this fake story that Brandon Straka is a snitch and he named names because they want to discredit him, because the walk-away movement is so not just popular, has been successful. That walk-away movement had a huge number of people following it, and he will always be around. He's a very important leader. He has a lot of credibility as a recovered liberal, and they just put out that fake story to discredit Brandon Straka, and I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. He got a light sentence because he didn't go into the building, and the only reason he got any kind of sentence is because he's a name. He's famous, so they wanted to, damage him forever. So you gotta watch these things. Now, welcome to the new members. A couple people became members during the stream today. Make sure you go and check all the exclusive member content. There's quite a bit up there, and when I put members-only content up there, I keep it up there, and I made a video last night just for members. I was drinking an apple martini during the video, and you guys can go and check. Don't worry, I was not intoxicated. You're not going to see me do a live stream intoxicated unless you go on our cruise, and then you'll probably see me have a few. You definitely will see me have a few too many. It happens. Hey, I don't get much time off, so I got to enjoy the time I have. Make sure you all like the video if you don't mind. I broke 49,000 subscribers this week, which is I'm very excited about, and I'm looking forward to getting to the big 50,000 subscribers. And when you like my videos, that tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend the video that you're liking and my other content to people that have not yet found me. So please like the video. If you're new here, please subscribe. And Sarah, again, thanks for that super chat. All right, guys, have a great